Good morning, brothers and sisters. This is probably going to be the hardest video I ever had to make, because I'm going to be talking about self-harm and giving up and feeling alone. So trigger warning. And a lot of people that know me that might be watching this video know that I lost my mom when I was younger and that it changed my life. But I never really go into the details with people because obviously, like, it's a lot. And it's so the story gets a little weird. Obviously, I'll get into it. Obviously inspired from the reception that I got from the last two videos, just talking about these experiences that changed my life. This probably being the biggest one, if I'm being honest. But I'm also inspired because a friend of mine that I wasn't super close to, but someone that just reminded me so much of myself and that just, shines so bright. And I can't stop thinking about him. That pain, we all have that pain. So why not talk about mine, and hopefully if those other videos inspired people or meant something to someone, then maybe this will too. So I'm just gonna let this video be what it is. No editing or whatever, scripts or any of that, just sharing. When I was 15, my mom was really sick. I just got into playing guitar and I was dealing with a lot of abuse at home and feeling very alone. And music was the only thing that really was there. And my mom was so supportive. And when everyone was just telling me, stop fucking playing, you're so bad, you sound terrible, she was the only one that was proud enough to brag about me to her friends. And I was just sitting in my room playing guitar. I wasn't in some sort of band or touring or any of the stuff that I would actually wind up doing after. But my mom, she was so bright, just like my friend. She was an actress, a model. She had so many aspirations and goals, and she accomplished a lot of them. But she still had so much more to live for. And she was such a bright spirit. In spite of all her flaws, in spite of all of our flaws, this is what we truly are. We're the light behind all of this nonsense, all this trauma that we just identify with. And so, I was at my brother's Little League baseball game on a Sunday, and I just got a call from my grandmother, and she was frantic. And she was like, your mother, she won't wake up. I called 911. I don't know what to do. And it just felt like I was in a dream. It was the first time I ever felt like the veil of this fucking reality that we live in break for a minute. And I realized that none of this is real. Maybe it was a coping mechanism, whatever you want to call it. But for me, it felt like, oh, wow. This is not what I thought it was, this life. And even seeing her when I got to the hospital, just seeing her laying there lifeless, I almost didn't believe it, what I was seeing. How could it be real? I knew she was sick, but I had no idea that someone could just be here one moment and then just gone the next. And I wished it was me. because she had so much to live for, and she was such a force to be reckoned with. I wasn't anybody. I didn't feel like anybody. I was just drowning myself in food and toys and all these different things to distract myself from how lonely I was. And even though music kept me alive, when this happened, I just really wished it was me. And so later that night, when I was home, you know, we're all busy doing our own things, coping the way that we're coping. I just decided to take a bath and cut myself and just end it. Because it felt like it should have been me. And I know that's not true, but I just felt so lost. Like I was just taking up space that someone else should be taking. And even though I had so many things that I loved, that I cared about, and people and things, it just never felt like it was good enough. And I'm sure my friend felt the same way. Behind the showmanship, behind the passion, just all this pain of not feeling good enough. I can't express how wrong that feeling is. Maybe people and circumstances will make us feel like we're not good enough, but that shit's not fucking true. It's not true at all. Since my experience, I've gone on to meet so many wonderful people that did their best to show me that I was wrong, that I was worth being here. And I've done my best to find that in myself. I feel like now in my 30s, I'm only feeling it for the first time, that I actually am worthy of being here, being happy, and not just like I need to earn it. Feeling like you need to earn love or earn the right to be here is such a fucking trap. But when I made my cuts, I literally blacked out in this tub, and I must have been gone for hours, because when I came to, I was just like pruny, the water was stagnant, red, but it felt like I was gone for only just a second. And this is where it gets a little weird, but like, this is my experience. Maybe someone needs to hear it, I don't know, but I basically died. Everything went white. And when it went white, I heard my mother's voice speak my name, tell me that it's not my time. And then she sent me back with her gift, her passion, her drive. I never had a passion or drive for life. What I'm doing right now, talking to you, or just talking to people in general, this is not me. This was her gift. She gave it literally as soon as I came back. Every day from that point on, I was just a different person, because I truly believe she gave me this. She was like, the way that I interpret it, you feel like you have nothing to live for and you're a waste. Well, now you're not. Now you can't feel that way anymore. And you know what? Even though I had this passion and this drive, it was still like masking this feeling like I wasn't good enough. But ever since I've had that near-death experience, you know, I went on to have my first relationship. I went on to graduate high school, go to college, graduate college. I had my first band, went on my first tour, signed my first record deal. So many beautiful things have happened in my life after she passed away and after I survived my attempt. Life is hard, but it does get better. I'm living proof of that. I'm just sick of hearing about people that remind me so much of myself, doing exactly what I did, most likely with the exact same feelings of not feeling good enough or not belonging or feeling alone, when we're not. Even when we are, we're not. There's so many people like us out there feeling this shit. And maybe that's why I felt called to make this video. Maybe someone out there really doesn't feel like anyone else out there feels what they feel. And I know that feeling. But I also know that feeling's not enough to throw it all away. And I'm so glad that I'm still here. It's just so heartbreaking. I don't even need to know these people on like a hyper personal level, just to like have known them on like a musical level or like a community level or just in passing, and they go so young. There's so much more of their life that they didn't get to experience, so many more highs. I guess I just wanted to share that my pain and your pain, that we're not alone in feeling it. And it's really hard to talk about giving up and self-harm and just throwing it all away. But it's part of my story. I did that. And hearing other people do the same thing just makes me... It breaks me. I'm sorry. This is disgusting and TMI and what a rough video, but I just want you to know that you're not alone. And even if you don't know me, if you feel like just reaching out, please, I'm here for you. We don't have to really know each other. We can get to know each other. You're not alone. None of us are. And I'm sick and tired of pretending like everything's okay and we can just move on from this without feeling our shit, or just like reaching out to each other and checking on each other and just like being afraid and ashamed to share like what I've been through, because it's nothing to be proud of. Like saying, yeah, like to my friends, like I lost my mom, but it's made me who I am. Like Like, that's totally fine and digestible. But to share the actual self-harm part of it and this weird near-death experience, and then just how much it means to me, just life is worth living. And you shouldn't give up on it, no matter how hard it gets. Over my scars, I don't know if it shows up on camera, but I have a tattoo here. That's a quote from one of my favorite bands. It says, "I'll never drop my sword." And that means from that point on, when I lost my mom, for the rest of my life, every time I'm going through something hard, whether it's detaching myself from someone that I lived with for 3 years, or walking away from a band that I was in for 8 years, or, you know, a pandemic hitting and like losing my job, and whatever it is, like all these terrible things that I'm sure you've experienced yourself, that I'll be able to make it through, and I'm strong enough to, because I've made it through the hardest thing that I ever possibly can in my life. And sometimes, you know, like, we need reminders. Like, maybe that's another reason why this whole video is being made. It's just a reminder that I'm not alone and you're not alone. And sometimes that's all we need. It's just someone just reminding them that. And so that's what this tattoo is. It's just a reminder to not give up. So, thank you for, I guess, you know, listening to my story. It's kind of heavy, and I didn't want to, like, I don't know. I'm just at a loss for words right now. This is really tragic, and it's definitely not the first time that I've lost someone in this music community at such a young age that I felt I could relate to their pain, even though I didn't grow up with them. It's just too familiar. So, but I hope that you were able to get something from this video, and, you know, thanks for bearing with my crying and stuff, but yeah, thank you.